Let's continue exploring the universe within art and the art behind farming. I'm your host, Ledoux, and in this episode, we're going to build a super simple piglin trader. This video was requested by Hankymer. Thank you so much for leaving a comment and a request. I really hope that you enjoy, and I also hope that I pronounced that name correctly. The way this works is that if you throw gold at a piglin, they will pick it up and then decide to trade with you. They will give you some different items for the gold. Now, if you move a block of gold or a block of nether gold ore, they will instant trade. So you can attach a piston to the block of gold and then have a clock pushing that piston constantly so that the piglin will trade with you super duper fast. Now also, we have this iron bar railing so that we can't pick up the gold unless we really want to by going over to the side, but we will be able to pick up the items that the piglin is throwing at us. As for the collection system, I would recommend you being the collection system. You can stand here and just dump the items into a chest as he pukes them at you. Then you can have an item sorter attached to this chest so that all of your goodies get sorted automatically. And because he trades so quickly, he'll burn through a stack of gold in like 30 seconds. So you acting as the collection system won't take very much time at all. Now there are alternatives by like slowing down the clock or making a super fast collection system, but those are more trouble than they're worth. The build area, including an item sorter large enough to sort all of the items, will be 22 by 7. This farm will give you 18 different items, so you will need 18 different chests, and you could always curve them around if you don't want to have them lined up in a row. But we're going to start off by building the little piggy cage, since you technically don't even need to build item sorters if you don't want to. And all this is some iron bars along the bottom and the top, and 9 blocks along the back. Now we just need to go get a piglin or two. So you want these piglin to have golden swords, not crossbows, because you don't want them to shoot you. You also want to name tag them so that they don't despawn, put them in a boat, and then drag them back over to your little piggy area. And one piece of advice when it comes to moving mobs in a boat is that you can pillar up with scaffolding or with blocks, and the boat will just kind of fly along beside you. But once you get the piggy back to the farm, we just need to slide him into these iron bars here at the bottom. And so if you want to use 2 piggies, that would be totally fine. That would actually double the speed in which they trade with you. So I would recommend getting 2 piggies that have golden swords in this boat, then dragging this boat over here. And you really don't need any more than 2, but you could technically use more than 2 piggies if you want to. Now, breaking the boat might be kind of hard. Just make sure that you are aiming at the boat and not the bars. And you could always change this top section just a little bit. You could make it a solid block above his head, or whatever you want to do. Just make sure he can't jump over the iron bars. Because even in survival, he can't attack us. Even if we push him around, he just, can't attack our legs. And if you want to, you could always use glass panes instead of iron bars. But next up, we need to place a lever to the left of the piglin on that block right there. Make sure it's a solid block, then place redstone dust right behind that lever. Then we need 3 more solid blocks going diagonally up in a sort of checkerboard pattern. Now in this hole up at the top, we need to place a repeater that is facing toward the dust, like so. Then on this side of the block that the repeater is sitting on, we need to place a redstone torch, and then under that block we need a sticky piston. Then that sticky piston needs to be holding either a block of gold or a block of nether gold ore. Now when you turn that lever off, the clock should start working and the piston should start moving back and forth. And you could totally stop here if you don't want to use the item sorter. You could always just have chests laying about and just throw the items that the piggy trades you into those chests. But if you do want to have an item sorter, you will need 18 rows of 3 double chests. And technically, you can have more or less chests if you so desire. But 4 blocks behind these, we're going to place a solid block, then another block diagonally behind that one. Then we need to extend these so they are 13 blocks long, because there are 13 stackable items that the piggies can trade you. So 5 chests from the end, and then 13 chests from the front. Because there are also 5 non-stackable items that the piggies will trade you. But then, diagonally up from these rows, we need to place 13 target blocks with 13 redstone torches on the front side of those. Now on top of these solid blocks, we need to place redstone dust, so behind the targets and up here diagonally up. Then we need to place glass above the bottommost dust, with dust on top of this glass. Now we need to place solid blocks on top of the targets, then more solid blocks above the torches, and another row on top of that. Now right here in this hole, we need to place comparators, and be sure to face toward the back when placing those comparators. Then next to the topmost row of blocks, we need to place hoppers that are pointed into those blocks. Make sure that these hoppers are pointed into those blocks. Now we need hoppers pointed into every single chest. make sure that these hoppers are pointed into every single chest, like so. Then on top of this final row of hoppers, we need a hopper pointed down into that row. Then we need more hoppers pointed into that one. Make sure these are all pointed toward that one. Now above this, we need a hopper pointed down, then hoppers pointed toward this hopper, starting with our item sorters. So we're going to have 13 of these hoppers that are all pointed across above all of our item sorters, like so. Now we need a few more hoppers extending out over our Piggy so that we can place some input chests up there for us to dump the items in. And you can put as many of these chests as you need. It will all depend on how much gold you're trading at any given time. You can place a chest over this hopper, but do not place a chest over the item sorter cells. That is very, very important. Do not place a chest above the item sorters. And that's it. We are now totally done, except we need to load our filter hoppers with the items that we want sorted. So inside of these hoppers that are pointed back toward the blocks, we need to place a single stackable item in the last 4 slots of each of these hoppers. And this needs to be a stackable item that the piggies can never give you. Then in the first slot of those hoppers, we need to place at least one of each stackable item that the piggies can trade you. So there are 13 of these in total, but do not place any non-stackable items in there. So just go through and load all of your filter hoppers. Again, your filter hoppers are the ones that are pointed into the solid blocks toward the back underneath the top row of hoppers. And again, place 4 stackable items that the piggies will never ever trade you into the last 4 slots of each hopper. So like seeds or sticks or even a named item, like you could use named arrows and that would be totally fine. And these are overflow protected so they will never break. But now you are totally done. So to use this farm, all we have to do is walk up to the pig and simply toss in all of our gold and then flip the lever. And he will start just puking items at us as fast as he possibly can. Now if for some reason you do need to pick up the gold, remember that you can pick up the gold from the side. But as he's giving you tons of items, simply look up at your input chests and start dumping them in. He will kind of target you wherever you go, so if you do walk away for a little bit, you can just walk back over and pick up all of the stuff. Just be sure to pick it up and dump it into these chests before it despawns. The item sorter will take a while to process all of the items, but you can just leave and it'll be okay. Now we could build a faster collection system or a faster storage system. It would definitely be more complex, but if that's something you would like to see, just let me know down in the comments and I will do my best to get it done. Personally, I always build this design. I never mess with the faster collection systems, even though this is one of my favorite farms because crying obsidian is my favorite block. Well, let me know down in the comments what your favorite block is. Mine is crying obsidian. And let me know what your favorite drop from the Piggy trades is. Do you like the quartz? Do you like the gravel or the blackstone or the string? You know, which one is your favorite? But that's all we got for this episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, share, and subscribe, and be sure to leave a comment. Let me know what you did or didn't like about the video, or if you have any questions or requests, and I will do my best to help you out. And if you don't know what to say, just tell me hi. I would love to hear from you either way. But thank you so much for watching. You are totally awesome, and I hope to see you again soon. But until then, I've been your host, Ledoux, building a Minecraft farm with you. And reminding you, as always, don't forget to have fun. Bye-bye!